What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and obviously we got these mid-year awards. Now, I was thinking about doing it in the lead up of UFC 265. I didn't feel like doing that. I was like, I'm gonna stretch these videos out pretty long. Instead, I'm gonna just do it in the lead up of UFC 264. I think that's a week away, so we got 2 weeks away. I'm just gonna give you guys all these videos day by day leading up to it. So it is what it is. I'm okay with doing that. I'm not too mad at that. But yeah, man, let's get to it, man. Top five most improved fighters of mid 2021, man. I mean, this half of this year has been pretty crazy. I mean, a lot of guys have. I mean, a lot of these guys I have doubted previous in their career, and they've shown me a lot. I mean, really proved to me that hey, they deserve some respect, and I think man, like I've at least five of these fighters I've given some criticism on the channel. Maybe I've talked about some past criticisms I've had of them, but I've at least known that I've given one of these guys some, you know, uh, you know, some constructive criticism, basically, to say that, hey, man, they're lacking here or they're a little overrated. But, man, let's get to it. Number five, we got Derek Brunson, Blonde Brunson, man. Brunson's, he got a fight coming up with that boy Darren Till. Um, man, Brunson is, he, he's really impressed me. Um, honestly, his last two fights, I picked him. I have picked him, but man, he has impressed me. He has looked like I mean, a different fighter from what he used to be. He's more patient. He's not as wild. He doesn't throw a lot of crazy stuff. He doesn't have his durability that he used to have, obviously when he was younger. But that comes and flows. Obviously he doesn't have the durability, but now he has the IQ, right? He knows that he can't leave his chin so exposed in certain areas, and he's gotten a lot better, man. Um, moving down there to Stanford MMA, I mean, was probably one of the best things he's ever done. You look at what he's done; he's about what 3-0, I think, with those guys. Ian Heinisch. Who else? Is it Edmund Shabazian and then Kevin Holland. Now, have those wins aged well? I think all those guys are coming off losses to different opponents, right? I think Ian just lost to Kelvin, Edmund just lost to Jack Hermanson, and Kevin just lost to Marvin Vittori. But a lot of those wins, a lot of people doubted Derek, especially in that Edmund fight, and he proved a lot of doubters wrong. Now, obviously, that was last year, but even in the Kevin Holland fight, I felt like there were more predictors, more cappers going with Derek Brunson, but there were some people going with Kevin Holland. Some people were really, I mean, shocked by the Jacare Souza victory and playing this kind of like MMA math game where well, hey, Kevin knocked out Jacare and Jacare knocked out Derek Brunson twice. So, you got to go Kevin Holland. So I think Derek kind of shut some people up with that performance over Kevin Holland, and it put him in a really high spot. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, I was really impressed with that, and I'm impressed that he's a top five guy, man. After the Adesanya loss, I lost a lot of respect for Derek. I didn't think he was gonna go back to where he was. I thought he would still win, but I didn't think he was ever gonna touch the top five. And he never really touched the top five before this moment in his career, and for him to do it, that is true improvement. And yeah, man, I think I like his spot at number five. Now at number four, this might be a little controversial, but I thought about it. It might be a little bit of recency bias, but man, this guy has, I mean, improved a lot. Derek, to me, he's improved, but this guy, honestly, from what I used to see of him, and now he's actually gotten a lot better. I gotta go with Paul Craig, the owner of Ankalaev, his pops, and the man that just silenced Jamal Hill and then made him his best friend the next day. Um, that I have never been a big Paul Craig fan. I mean, especially after the Alonzo Minifield fight, I think I was kind of done with the guy. Um, it's kind of, I don't know. It's weird to say, but nothing against the guy personally, but I was just like, man, this is some nonsense going on with him, acting like he's all tough and then wants to pull guard, right? And never really wants to fight. But man, if you really watch his fights from the Shogun fight, no, from the Shogun draw to this, he's truly gotten better, man. His striking has gotten a lot better. His grappling's always been pretty lethal. And man, he's been looking really, really sharp lately. And man, he's in a really, really interesting spot in his career right now. I don't know who they're gonna give him. If they get him Nikita Krylov, he's probably gonna lose that. But I mean, against a lot of these guys, man, I think even against Ankalaev in a rematch, he has a chance to 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 triangle him again. So even though Ankalaev was winning most of that fight, you never know. You never know. So I got to give the guy credit there. I respect him in that regard. But let's get to it at number 3. I got to go with Brandon Moreno. He's really, really impressed me. Not only is his championship winning effort against Davis and Figueiredo, but his story, of being cut after losing to Pantoja in Mexico and just kind of getting he got schooled in that fight. He got taught a valuable lesson about checking leg kicks and how they're important in the game, and he got messed up in that fight. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Um, but with that fight in general, he went to LFA, won the championship there. Did his thing. Obviously, it was only a one fight really retreat from the UFC, but at the end of the day, he did get cut. Comes back, gets on what I think a 3 fight. Well, the Askarov win is, in my humble opinion, a victory, and obviously the Kai Kara France victory, and then the Brandon Royval victory, and then the Juicy Formiga. So to me, it was a 4 fight win streak, but it is what it is. They'll say 3 just to make themselves feel happy for Askarov, but it is what it is. I mean, this kid has done everything just to go to the draw against Davis and Figueiredo when a lot of people didn't give him a chance. And then the rematch, it was more 50-50 going into the rematch. Obviously, I picked Figgy, so it is what it is. But, I mean, this kid, besides that, even though I picked against him, I can see improvement. He's gotten a lot better. He doesn't seem like the punching bag he used to be. He seemed like he's really, really good in a lot of areas, and he's going to be a tough guy to beat. Obviously, I still think Pantoja, Askarov, even Alex Perez, they give him problems. But if he can beat those 3 guys, I think he might, rule that flyweight division with an iron fist. And obviously, Figgy's still in the mix, so it'll be interesting to see. But at number 2, I gotta go with Charlie Olives, man, Charles Oliveira. I mean, how can you not add him in this list? Now, I got a lot of slack for not adding him last year in my, obviously for my 2020, UFC Most Improved Fighters of the Year. So I guess I'm gonna add him here. He won the championship. Obviously, I wasn't too impressed with the Tony Ferguson victory. I was like, well, Tony might be shot. I don't know if that really impressed me. Obviously, Michael Chandler. I know a lot of people don't respect him. They think he's trash. He's Bellator, right? I've always thought Michael Chandler was an elite lightweight. I still think Michael Chandler will knock out Justin Gaethje. I think he will do that. Chandler has some elite UFC fighters on his record. Benson Henderson, Eddie Alvarez. Did he deserve the title shot? Maybe not, but he's a top 5 guy. I'll give him that. That's just in his repertoire. That's who he is. You can ask any training mate, or not training mate, training partner, at Stanford MMA, Gilbert Burns, Kamaru Usman. They'll tell you straight up that guy's top 5. But I mean, that fight against Michael Chandler was the epitome of his true improvement as a full fighter. It was kind of like, it was an FU to the guys, even like me, that have pointed it out that he's quit in multiple fights. Multiple fights he's quit. And that was, him having the opportunity to show us that he has true grit and his, true heart in this game. And I mean, he proved me wrong. Obviously I picked him, and I still feel some type of way about him, but he proved me wrong that night. That he wasn't a quitter. Now, obviously, it was a championship fight. I don't think he would quit in a championship fight, but it's when you quit once, you can do it again, right? Now, obviously, people can overcome that. but I had him winning. At the end of the day, I did have him winning because that was more emotional. I don't like Chandler because of what he did to my boy Hooker. So that was just that was personal. But what with Charles Oliveira, what he did in that fight, getting hurt like that, you know, I mean, and to come back and then do what he did in the second round, sending Chandler home and teaching him a valuable lesson. There was a moment in fight week where they had this face off, and I noticed there was something different about Charles Oliveira. Charles didn't do this during fight week for Tony Ferguson. He didn't do this for Kevin Lee. He looked into Chandler's soul and let him know, I am not scared of you. Not one bit is scared of you. And I was like, whoa. Like, you could just see it. He wanted to let him know that I'm here to die or I will become champion. And he became champion. So I got to put him at number 2. And at number 1, I got to put Kamaru Usman. I got to put some respect on this guy's name, man. How can I not add him in this list, man? This guy, I've been super critical of this guy on my channel for a long, long time. Now, obviously, not this year, right? But in 2019, I was a Colby Covington fan. I still am, but I was very critical. I used to call him Marty. I used to call him the CEO of EPO. I used to say a lot of those things, but I said it. I've said it maybe 3 months ago. If he knocks out Jorge Masvidal, I'll never call him Marty again. And I haven't called him Marty in a minute. He is a scammer boy though. Hey, his dad got caught up for fraud, so them Nigerians be scamming. So that ain't going away. That's I'm sorry, y'all. That's the fact of life. But I will give this guy his respect. He's improved. I mean, I used to. It wasn't that I didn't like Usman. It's like, man, like when you lose a press conference to Tyron Woodley, you know what I'm saying? When you lose that, it just puts a bitter taste in my mouth. Like, dude, you got you got out promoed by Woodley, man. Like, come on now. But at the end of the day, obviously, I just felt like there were a lot more interesting guys in the division, and but then he beat Colby, and I had to respect him after that. But but the 3-1 and obviously and how the judging and just the way how I felt about that fight, kind of still it left a sour taste in my mouth. Then he gets booked against Jorge Masvidal, and I really was rooting for him. I'm not the biggest fan of Masvidal, but I was really rooting for him to just kind of take care of that dude, right? And he didn't do it. He beat him, but he didn't really take care of him the way I wanted him. I wanted that dude, I wanted him to get embarrassed. I wanted that dude to, to learn a lesson, right? But then he got matched up with Gilbert Burns, and this is when I turned to Usman's side when I started seeing not only the fan reaction, the almost a weird like this. It was such a weird reaction to Burns. Like, he's been around the UFC for a long time, right? And there was just this weird like almost mutant like reaction to him like after he beat Woodley. Maybe Woodley made him look too good. I mean, like, he made him look too good, but there was this weird reaction like Gilbert Burns, the next GOAT. Like, I was like, oh my god, what am I listening? But it was weird. It really was. It was weird to me, and then just the subtle digs from Usman, man. Not Usman. The subtle digs from Gilbert Burns was just it was irritating. And then just the comment about he would never fight Vicente Luque. If he ever became the 170-pound champion, he was never going to fight Luque and go down to lightweight, but he's willing to fight Kamaru Usman, a teammate. And then this bum had the whole entire team make him shirts saying "and new." I was like, I hope Usman kills this dude, and he smoked him. And then he took care of Street Bum at UFC 261. So how could I not add him at number 1? Respect to Kamaru Usman. That's why I'm saying his full name. Y'all already know. It is what it is. Usman got it done. Respect to that guy. I will never disrespect him after that. But when it's Colby and him, hey, I'm sorry. The gloves got to come off, Usman. you're dealing with my boy. But respect to Usman here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. There'll be more coming out. Probably gonna get all these out. Like got 8 videos coming out, so probably gonna see a video maybe every day. So it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoy. The lead up to UFC 264 will be dope. Can't wait for it. I promise y'all there will be a recap. I'm hopefully there'll be a fight talk with my boy Ed on next week. And yeah, man, we're gonna get some content out, and we're gonna get that heat out. Love y'all and goodbye. Do not forget to follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. Obviously, y'all already know. But yeah, love y'all and goodbye.